Hi, y'all. It's DJ Miss Eclectic, and you're tuned in to RHEMA Gospel Express, where they're presenting men and women of God with the word and music of praise, believing and receiving and letting God be glorified. Don't touch that dial.
We came to celebrate. There we go. Celebrate. Jesus. Lift him up. High. Come on. Celebrate. Lift him up. High. Well, I see one or two of you moving. This is a Monday night now. We're not at the First Baptist Church downtown. You can move a little bit. We're going to have a good time. We're going to say it again. Celebrate. Jesus. Lift him up. High. Come on. Celebrate. Jesus. Lift him up. Celebrate. Jesus. Lift him up. Come on. Everybody. Celebrate. Come on. Lift him up. All hail the power of Jesus' name. We've come to bless his name. Sing for the honor of his precious name. He's worthy to be praised. He's worthy to be praised. Now come on now, this is a party. Put your hands together. You stand up on your feet and move a little bit. All my bands here in a minute. Come on, let's rejoice. is Everett Drake, and you're now on board the RHEMA Gospel Express with Ambassador Lockhart, reaching around the world on KROVFM.com. Now, amen goes right there. That's right. San Antonio and global listeners, amen goes right there. We're talking about Dr. the man himself. Oh, yes, he bringing and shifting higher heights and deeper depths in the gospel industry. I'm talking about none other than Dr. Everett Drake. Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning, man. Listen, every time I hear somebody say Dr. Everett Drake, I get tickled.
But I want you to know that you have made a difference in the gospel industry.
You know, I'm just grateful. That's all I can say. As I've always said, that none of us had any clue that that platform Bobby Jones Gospel would grow to be what it became. It became a part of black culture. And I'm just grateful that God gave me the wherewith to stick and stay and hang in there with Dr. Jones throughout the years. I'm there again, I often say, I'm standing on the shoulders and reaping the benefits of some of those that started with him and did not hang in for the long haul, couldn't see the forest for the trees. You know, they were living in the right here and right now instead of what could be or what might be in the future, you know, and I'm just grateful.
Yes. Well, tell us, let's go back a few years. Let's go back a few years in your life. What was it like in your childhood days?
Well, I'm a little young boy here in Nashville, Tennessee, working in my home church, First Baptist Church. It was called Rock City then. But I started singing when I was, 3 or 4 years old, but I started directing the choir at my church at the age of 11 years old. There was a lady in our church that saw something in me that I didn't even see in myself, and gave me an opportunity. But I didn't realize, what it was doing for me at that time. So many times we think we're doing something for somebody else, when in all actuality, it's helping us. I was, busy trying to learn the music and, prepare for rehearsals and things, but not understanding that preparation was teaching me how to sing all parts, learn harmonies and things that, I use even today. It was preparing me for such a time as this. It has afforded me a lot of work because I can sing all parts, and I didn't go at it trying to do that. I was just trying to get the job done, and make sure that, if I'm going to direct the choir, the tenor's got to sing the tenor part, the alto's got to sing the alto part, and the soprano's got to sing the soprano part. And whatever part is lacking was the part that I was going to sing to make sure that it matched the rest of them, And so, that was me growing up as a kid, started doing recording sessions around 15 years old here in Nashville. Did a lot of vocals for a gospel record company here, Nashville Records, which was housed in Woodland Sound Studios here in Nashville. Not on Music Row, not on Fame Music Row, but still a major player in the country music scene here in our city. Many people may remember Nashville Records from the 70s, and all the major gospel artists there was. Did recordings for a lot of people, and in addition to the gospel artists, we did house vocals for a lot of the country music stars that were recording there in the studio. They'd come down the hall and ask for some black gospel singers, and we got a lot of work that we probably wouldn't have gotten, had the record label not been right there in that studio. So we did stuff for Lonnie Millsap, Brenda Lee, Oak Ridge Boys, Everett, Donna Fargo, Barbara Mandrell, many of the country music stars during the 70s, and which gave me an opportunity to practice my craft and, learn about the studio and how to, conduct myself. I actually ended up going to these sessions because my friends were working. I wasn't working. I wasn't making any money, but I went to see what to do if given an opportunity and how to conduct myself. And went one time, and the producer wanted a bigger sound than the three singers that was there. And he said, well, can he sing? Bring him in here, let him sing too. So that was my opportunity. And I said that to say this, so many times, especially in this day that we're living now, everybody's living in the right here and right now society. Everything, wanting everything on a dime. People don't want to serve anymore. And, if I'm not getting a check, what am I going for? But I went to learn. Now, had I not gone with my friends to learn and see what was going on, I could have missed my opportunity. Mm. And I'm just grateful that there again that, God allowed me enough sense to go and, see what was going on and, be in the midst of, what was happening to try to learn. And that's how it really got started. And they began to get more work than they could handle, so they started passing work off to me. And I started hiring singers to go with me, and, one thing led to another. And then a few years later, I resigned from my job for the state of Tennessee. I went to school to be an accountant. Mm. And I was working for the state of Tennessee and in the revenue department. And that been gone one time too many. Singing and come back one Monday morning and called in and supervisor said, well, it's good we heard from you today, because if we hadn't heard from you today, we're going to have to terminate you. Mm. And I said, okay, God, this is it. Now, I did know that as long as you didn't get fired from a state job, you could always go back and get one. Mm. I said, God, you told me you would give me the desires of my heart. And, my desires are not to work for the state of Tennessee all of my life. I mean, I was having headaches and couldn't sleep at night because my balance sheets wasn't balancing, the income statements wasn't tallying, and, 3 or 4 pennies, and I'm worried about millions of dollars that I don't even have, and
wow.
So it was one of those kinds of things, but I went on to work for one of the country music stars, Miss Donna Fargo, for many, many years, and from there, of course, with Ambassador Dr. Bobby Jones and Platform Bobby Jones Gospel, and then I toured with Lyle Lovett and his large band. So that's kind of who Everett Drake really is.
Man, Dr. Drake. Mm-hmm. Who inspired you, or who was that singer, that artist that put that motivation in you?
Well, as a child, I would lay in the bed at night, supposed to be asleep now. And this may date me, but it may help somebody else. I was supposed to be asleep, but I had what they call a little transistor radio. Now, many people won't even know what that is, but it's a little thing about the size of our cell phones. And, I listened to WLAC radio. The Horseman from Ernie's Record Mart, and would come on late night, 12 o'clock at night. I'm supposed to be asleep, but I'd have that thing stuck up under my pillow in my bed, and I would listen to the great gospel artists. The Famous Caravans was my favorite group. Mm. Wow. Which many of our gospel legends come from that. Reverend James Cleveland, of course, Albertina Walker, the founder of the group, but Reverend James Cleveland, Inez Andrews, Pastor Shirley Caesar, Dr. Noah Wood, Priscilla George, and I mean, these are real gospel legends that helped, build this music that we all love so much, and I heard all of their music, and another of my favorite artists was God the Love and the Gospel Harmonists out of Birmingham, Alabama. One of the greatest songwriters of gospel music there was, straight out of the Bible. She could tell stories like none other. And these are the kind of people that inspired me, from gospel artists standpoint. But like I said, the lady at my church, Miss Elsie Center, was probably my first inspiration because she inspired me to stir up my gift. If she hadn't seen something in me, I probably would not have gone down that road. And then I go on to talk about my 3 musical mentors, which was, again, Donna Fargo, Ambassador Dr. Bobby Jones, and Lyle Lovett, because they gave me an opportunity to practice my craft every night on stage and watch a consummate professional at work every night, how they engage their audiences night after night, or sometimes twice a night, singing the same show, the same songs at the same time, but keeping them fresh every time they delivered them. And that's something you could never pay for.
Well, there's a song that you and Dr. Bobby Jones was singing, and you did the electric slide.
I know what you're talking about.
And Dr. Jones looked at you and left over to say, "Okay, you go right ahead."
Man, listen, being on a platform with an array of fantastic things. Now, you've got the super choir. You've got 30 or 40 of the very best singers.
Mm-hmm.
So, in being in a group like that, you have to do things that help you stand out in the midst of the crowd. And, it helped us all learn and understand who we were by watching and deciding what we liked about what we did,
Mm-hmm.
as well as what we didn't like about what we did, which, we all hoped and prayed helped us grow and become whoever we have become as artists. And I'm just grateful for being able to, sit down and watch those shows and determine, laugh at a lot of things, be embarrassed about some, and then be happy about others, just to help us grow. Many people not afforded that opportunity and never have the chance to really see what they actually look like when they are doing things,
Well,
So I certainly understand.
There's a song, and that I'm like, it caught my attention. And one moment, please. San Antonio and global listeners, we're talking to the man. Yes, we are. We're talking to the man. As I've been saying all morning, many of you have seen him on the Bobby Jones Show and many other places because he don't mind stepping out. This brother will step into a library and do his thing. And he don't mind singing. Amen goes right there. But we're talking to Everett Drake. Everett Drake, yes, he's live with us this morning. And we're going back to him right now. Dr. Drake, there's a song that you did, that really shook me. And tell us just a little bit about this song. Hold on. See if I can pull it up.
Well, I was hoping when you said hold on that you would wasn't waiting on me because you said hold on, I'm holding on.
Oh, yes. Once again, we're tuned in to KROVFM.com, and Dr. Everett Drake is a man that don't mind singing wherever he has an opportunity. If the Lord allows him to open his mouth, he will sing to the glory of God.
Oh, yeah.
And as we try to work on this music, Doctor, where are you headed? Because you are doing so many things.
Well, just that I still work in the music ministry at my home church, First Baptist Church South Englewood here in Nashville, Tennessee. Our pastor is Pastor Napoleon Harris the Fifth. And I say that in all the interviews that I do because in this day and time, people don't want to serve anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And they think they're hurting their voices and all, choir singing's too hard and all this. But it's just, your voice is like any other muscle. And you have to keep working at it or it'll turn to flab, just like someone that works out in the gym all the time and builds up all those muscles. If they don't continue that, all that muscle turns to flab. And I try to pass on what I have learned and encourage the people in our congregation and our music ministry to follow their dreams and do what they do and help them understand, more about their voice and how to interpret lyrics and those kinds of things. Because in this season of my life, I feel like it's time to start passing on and giving back, which takes me to this new television show God that blessed me with Everett Drake in tune with envy.
Mm.
Most of my work has been working with our independent artists and going to conferences and sharing my testimony and singing a couple of songs and helping our independent artists understand what they're getting involved in. And through these conferences and all, I've understood that, people spend good money to bring panelists in and have panels for the independent artists. But many times, the artist won't show up for the panel discussions. You get that be 10 or 12 people or 15 people. Over time for the concert, here we come. We got 800 or 900 people in the place. And I guess that bothered me too much. And God said, what you going to do about it? And I didn't know what I could do about it. But he said, well, if they won't come and get the information, take the information to them. And that's how the television show was born. It's an informative talk show designed to educate and empower independent artists. I'm grateful that for a young man out of North Carolina, Dr. R.T. Harrison and BGN Television Network gave an opportunity to put this show together, and we're preparing now for a launch here in the next few months. Here in the summer, we're going to launch this show. We take 12 30-minute shows here in Nashville at my home church, First Baptist Church, South Inglewood, with many industry professionals. I asked them to come and allow me to talk with them. I said, I don't want you to give away any of your trade secrets. I just want you to help out people. We're suffering from the lack of knowledge. So many of our young people have home studios now.
Okay.
And they're so proud of the work they're doing and all, but they're frustrated at the same time because they're not reaping any benefits from their work. They're not getting any residuals from their work. They're not getting any airplay. But nobody told them that they need to encode their music.
Mm-hmm.
But they didn't go anywhere to get the information at the same time. These are the kind of things that I wanted to address that bother me, to hear people complain over and over again about the same thing, about owning your own publishing. My producer, Derek Lee, who we all know from Bobby Jones Gospel, he was music director there. And he's still the music director with Dr. Jones there, Bobby Jones Presents on the Impact Television Network. But he wouldn't allow me to record my first song until I opened my own publishing company.
Okay.
So these are the things that I want to talk about. It's really built on 6 major topics: songwriting and publishing, production and recording, management and booking, radio and radio promotion, marketing and social media, and distribution. And these are the things that we talked about. And I asked them to talk to me like, I don't have a clue as to what's going on, so we can help people, because we need help as independent artists, because we've got to learn to start operating as labels ourselves, because we don't have the machinery that label artists have behind them. And if we don't take on some of those responsibilities and some of those work ethics, then we will never be successful in this arena that's ever changing in gospel music. So that is my new passion, and I'm just grateful to God that He chose me to do this. I don't know why He chose me to take on this, but there again, I'm grateful. That's all I can say.
What is the problem? I don't know if you remember. Well, you remember Sarah Jordan Powell.
Absolutely, yes.
Good
Love
friend.
Sarah.
And the late Carl Preacher.
Yes.
Well, they always used to share with me back in the day that the importance. Now, back then, you could do an old man copyright.
Right.
Now, what steps should you take now? Because from my understanding, that you have to go a little bit further than just doing an old man copyright.
Well, see, those are the things that we discussed, in these interviews to help our people understand. Opening your own publishing company will help you get your copyrights done. Now, Ambassador, we all know Google is our saving grace in this day and time. I don't know how we got out of school back when we were in school. But kids nowadays can Google anything and, find whatever you need to find. So you can always Google information about copyright and copyright laws and how to copyright your material and send it off. You can do everything yourself nowadays, where we were not afforded those things just a very few years ago. So copywriting and the copyright laws things are there for us all to see now. And you can Google these things and get your music copywritten and all. Those people who are signed with a publishing company, those people take on those responsibilities and copyright your music and, charge you for their services and all. But as a publisher yourself, you have to have all those things yourself.
All right.
Now, let me just say this. In addition to that, you also must be associated with one of the three licensing companies, or BMI, which help collect and track your music, especially in the days that we're living now with the internet. Our music goes all over the world.
Yes.
If you don't have an administrator or someone to track your music and report to your publishing company where your music's being played and collect those royalties for you, you're missing out on money that you're owed. So it's a lot that goes into it. That's what I'm wanting to get out to our independent artists through this television show of Everett drinking Tune with Indie.
Okay, do you have an online where people can contact you somewhere or another about in the music industry?
No, actually, at this point, I just have an email address which we designed, of course, for the show, In Tune with Indies, the letter N, TUNEWITHINDIES @gmail.com, which you could always reach out, because at this point, now once we get this show launched, I will go further into it. My whole thought processes have been trying to get this show produced and edited and prepared to get it launched. We've been working since June of last year to get things, proper, the opening and the credits and everything that goes along with, preparing the television show and all this. I have a new appreciation for people who do this. It's more than a notion, more than meets the eye. So it's my prayer that God will be pleased with our efforts. But you can always reach me, as I said, for the television show. It's Everett In Tune with Indies. And you can go through the email address, the letter N, TUNEWITHINDIES @gmail.com. Once we get this season launched, then we'll look into preparing to take the next season for the show, and we'll be reaching out to industry professionals to once again share information. And of course, you can't do a talk show without having some music, and I want to involve our independent artists so that they feel a part as well. So we wanted to make sure everybody was included.
Why can't we work together since we're down here living together? Why can't we love each other? People walking hand in hand, knowing that together we can.